Live. Today I have the honor of interviewing YaH-Ra, a dope MC from LA via the Inland Empire. She's been releasing EP after EP, album after album, and single after single for the last several years. We're going to bring her in and talk to her about her upcoming work, her recent trip to New York, and future plans. Let's bring her in.
Hi.
The Westside Princess.
How you doing?
Good, Seth. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on. You just got back from the beach?
Yeah, I did.
Working on that tan?
It was fun. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Listening to your discography, doing research on you, going deeper than, the knowledge I already had, right? Like going in and like trying to get that like deep knowledge of your dope career. There was a story that I love that I heard in doing my own research about how you used to take the train from the Inland Empire out to LA, not really knowing folks out here. Could we jump right into it and you talk to us about that early grind?
Oh, definitely. So when I first started doing music in the Inland Empire, I felt like I made I made all my rounds in a way.
Yeah.
Like not big fish in a small pond syndrome, but similar to that,
Yeah.
So I felt like I had exhausted everything I could for the first couple years, and I performed at a lot of places, but obviously LA is like entertainment capital, so
That's right.
I had to start networking smart, and I didn't have a car. So it was a long train ride every time I wanted to come record. And it's not like the trains are like super turned like New York or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm a girl, so I would have to be on time all the time, and then I would have to, so I didn't miss the last train, and then I would just have to be safe,
Yeah, you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Where would you arrive? Down at Union Station?
Yep. And then I was first recording in Boyle Heights. Shout out to East of the River crew. So that was where I recorded Rebirth, my first full project at.
Wow.
And then so, yeah, I used to have to train it, and then usually someone would pick me up.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Uber might have just been getting cool at that point, but I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, what's crazy is that, like, for people that aren't familiar with LA, right? Union Station's like a kind of a tough area, and Boyle Heights is a tough area. You know what I'm saying? That's not, Malibu, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And, that's why I tell people, like, I feel like I've performed in so many nooks and crannies and hoods in LA that I eventually earned my respect, because you got to go where you're welcome and where you feel safe. So even though Boyle Heights can be considered a rough neighborhood, there is an arts district.
Yeah.
And it's on 4th Street, I want to say, where they have like the murals, the coffee shop, a radio station, some small mom and pop businesses.
Yeah.
So I would like stick to that environment over there, and I made friends naturally there.
Yeah.
So, they were from there.
Yeah.
So I used to have to take the train, and mostly I would go to Boyle Heights, or I would go to like the Pomona area, which is right on the stop. But
yeah. So I'm from DC originally. I've been out in LA for like a year and a half, but that's where I live. I live in the arts district, right over the bridge from Boyle Heights. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm over at 6th and 7th Street at the 6th Street Bridge. I'm like literally the 6th Street Bridge is outside this window. So you know where I'm at right now.
I know exactly where you're at. And have you heard of La Monarca Coffee Shop?
That's my spot.
Yeah. So that little stripper too is very artistic.
Yeah.
Like a lot of kids hanging out. It's nowhere in Southern Cali is not rough to me a little bit, but there's a lot to do over there and a lot of work to get done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't mind me asking, right, and this is just out of curiosity, like as I started going through your earlier discography and we get the, to bodies of work like Rebirth, right, which I think is such a dope title for like a first EP, right? it was before you were using the name YaH-Ra, right? I think you were using like like your earlier name.
Mm-hmm.
What's your background? Like, what is your like your background? Yeah.
Well, do you mean like musically or like?
Nah, like ethnically.
Oh, yes. So
Are
my
you
mother,
Latina?
yeah, my mother is Native American and Spanish, and my dad is Black. He's Jamaican. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's like the origins of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go to the Bronx, right, obviously like
Yeah.
Black youth, but Puerto Rican, West Indian, Jamaican. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like that
mestiza.
boiling pot is what created it in the Bronx.
Yes, mestiza. And when I went to the Bronx, it's the only place in the world I felt like everybody looked like me that I've ever been.
That's so cool. Now you were
Yeah.
just in New York, like you just got back. Literally, like you're like a globetrotter, right? It's like if people follow your Instagram, you're like all over. Houston, New York, LA. Did you go to the Bronx on this trip?
Yes. That was where my show was. My first show in New York ever. And I will correct you. I'm more of a like USA trotter because I haven't even been out the country yet, but I've been to a
Okay.
lot of states. So I'm gonna keep it a buck on that.
Yeah,
But
you're right. Well, I'm sure that those shows are going to be coming because they eat it up in Europe, man, and Japan.
wait, I cannot wait.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna
the,
they're gonna start reaching out to you. Talk to us about that first show in New York City.
uh, well, I was nervous in a
Yeah,
good way. Like I was
yeah,
prepared, but I was nervous because it was in the Bronx, which is, where hip hop started.
yeah.
So I wanted to make an impression. I wanted to leave people like, okay, we need to have this again. Um, Infamous Amadeus was there from Shade
Yeah.
45, Punchline. So I wanted to, leave an impression on them as well because I just,
Because he's a connect. He's like a legit connect.
yeah, and he's such a great energy. Like the whole team over there, I've had nothing but like great vibes from, and his lady too. So I just wanted to do a great job, and I wanted to leave it all in New York, meaning like, so they want me to come back.
Yeah, yeah. Leave
So
it all on the stage.
yes, the crowd was great. They loved G Funk, which was hilarious to me. Like that was the best song as far as what they reacted to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a great time. Shout out to the Musalini and Rick Hyde. They were also on the lineup with me. So the Bronx definitely it felt like home. It felt,
Yeah.
like I said, it was like I look around and everybody in the city just kind of looks similar to me. Like I've never experienced that anywhere. So
Yeah. Yeah. What's really interesting is when you go from the East Coast to the West Coast, the the uh, the variety, I guess, the different cultures, even amongst like non-white people, right? So even amongst minorities, it's a different look and vibe. It is like I experienced that coming from DC to LA. I'm like, oh, this is a different vibe out here. It's a different energy, but it's a different look also. And you must have experienced that on the flip, going from the west to the east.
oh yeah. Yeah, I felt like the East Coast really loves hip hop. Like they are going to be on time for the show. They don't care who's opening. By the opener, the room is packed. In LA, people are not getting out the house till 10:30. So whoever's prime time can probably be seen. But
Yeah,
like if you're an opener or something, like it's like they want to see you rap in New York, and everybody pays more attention, I would say, as far as the crowd. Like
like the bars.
yeah, like the crowd is more engaged in New York as far as hip hop goes. I haven't seen any other genre. So just speaking about rap, whereas LA, everybody's fighting for the top. So the vibes are not about hip hop. Sometimes it can be about more competition. So like whereas in New York, it's both.
That's really interesting. That's an interesting observation.
They're there by 7, it's full. In LA, 9:30, 10 is gonna start to get popping. But in New York, they want to see every act because they love rap music.
That's dope. That's
Hmm.
now, and when you were in New York, you did Chinatown Sound also, right?
Yes, and that was the trip before the Bronx one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Got it. So whenever you go to New York, you get it in.
That's what brings me to New York, because otherwise, like, I would go just to have fun, but I feel like the times I've been out, there's always like a booking or like something musical to do,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. Now you have a EP that you recently released, Love Wins, right?
Mhm.
And there's a single on there with Paul Wall. Can you talk to us about that single?
Yeah, so For the Slabs featuring Paul Wall, I wrote the song super fast, and in my mind, I knew it needed a Texas artist.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Day One about that, and some other people, and basically he was like, "What about Paul Wall?" And I was like,
You're
"Well,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
you
just
could,
do it.
but see like what he's talking about as far as how much he would want, and just get some details." But
Yeah.
then when Paul Wall heard the song, he just really liked it. He didn't charge, and he probably got it back maybe within maybe 2 weeks or so.
Wow.
Um, and then he said he would shoot the video, no charge too, because he really liked the song. So I went to Houston, and we got that done in a day between hurricanes, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw, you were really considerate and sensitive to like everything happening out there. And, are going to wait till, some time passes
Yeah.
for the video. But the video, you're basically ready to, when the time is right, to like let it go.
Yes, it's ready. But I felt like it would be tasteless to just be like Houston and they're going through
Yeah.
something. So it's a little bit pushed back, but everything is divine timing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
The talk to us what For the Slabs is about, because you've got an interesting verse on there where you're kind of like, you talk about like some feelings, right? And, you know what I mean? But then Paul Wall comes on and he sices it, and then so it's got that Houston vibe. How did that song start? How did it come about before Paul Wall was on it? Because it had a certain tone before.
Yes. So Dion Glenn made the beat, and I felt very inspired by like Missy era and what would Missy do. And
Mm,
so I kind of had that approach of that laid back, like swag to it. And then Day One also added a low end to it to give it that kind of, For the Slab sound. The
yeah.
song is about me buying a guy a car. So it's a love song.
But what was that? There's basically like you're balling like that, and like I'm feeling you like that. Kind of like flip. Instead of you buying me a car, I'm gonna buy you a car.
Yeah, the song is like,
Like girl boss song.
yeah. Right. It's very player. It's just like, again, the whole point of the EP was just to basically consider various forms of love.
That's
It's
good.
not so much like it's not so much like a tricking type song, because you already love this
Yeah,
person kind of, and you're like, dang, he likes cars, and I guess I just have,
I can
so
flex.
so yep, it's like a love song that goes opposite of the norm, because women, we love to be
Yeah,
spoiled, like
yeah,
buy me a car. But
right.
I can imagine like being in a relationship with a guy and his hobby is cars, and I'm already rich or whatever,
Yeah,
or I saw one he liked. Like, I feel like that would be so fly.
super fly.
So, and then a slab is not necessarily a new car. It's an older car that's been styled a certain way.
Yeah,
So if you have
yeah,
$7,000,
yeah,
5,000,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's like,
not like a $40,000 right off the lot
no,
car. It's taste and finding it at the right price, and then the upkeep, the maintenance, right?
Yeah, and like, you know, if he's a car person, he'll do that
Right.
part. It's more like you knowing what his interest is,
Yeah.
right? And that's a specific type of car. And then jewelry could cost you 5 bands, you know? So like you could get a slab for a guy for around the same price as jewelry. You would get jewelry for someone you really care about.
Yeah.
But if he prefers, you know, he's into cars or video games or whatever, like sneakers, right? So
It has
that's
more meaning, and he could drive you around in it. Boom.
yep.
Now take me to dinner. That's
Wins.
good. Now, I had a question, right? I don't know if there's a reason for it or not, but like love wins. Everything's in caps, but the I is lowercase, right? And then in all the titles, right? In all the titles, like the I is lowercase. Is there a reason for that?
That is so interesting you notice that, because there definitely is. I like to lowercase my eyes on some like third eye shit. Like this it remind first of all, it's identifiable. Like the fact that you identified it is great feedback, because
Yeah.
I feel like my, you know, group of people and friends and fans will know that it's me by the styling. Schoolboy Q does that. Obviously, he's from Hoover Crip, but he capitalized his H. So I always I enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool, and it gives it like a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
And all caps can look like I'm yelling, so it's just the eyes. And then the reason why YaH-Ra is like that is because
Yeah, that was my follow-up.
yeah.
Like, cause and I try to be, sometimes like on the IG, it does like all the font a certain way, but wherever I could, I wanted to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Cause YaH-Ra has a specific way that you do it.
And now I'm very grateful that you're that observant, because that is phonetically the correct way.
Yeah.
And it's just because Maya Huyana, it's like the H in Huyana. So, you know, YAH, that's
Oh, it's like YaH.
yep, because Maya Huyana is the old name.
Yeah.
So the YA would be all lowercase if it was up to me, but you have to start a name with the capital. But it's basically keeping my old name in mind too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Dash, like Absol, Ab Dash Soul.
Yeah.
I'm a
Like,
baby for sure.
I love this. I mean, and it's. I know this is like in the weeds, but I love like this is dope. This is like graffiti, right?
Thanks.
It's like there's a reason why it's all, you're an artist. Everything's stylized. You're stylizing everything, even the phonetics, right?
Everything's intentional, and if someone doesn't notice right away, it will give them things to notice as they grow or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the Ra?
RA?
What meaning does that have?
Well, Ra is the Egyptian sun deity. And I remember wanting to change my name before. I felt like this was now or never type timing when I did it. So I just wanted a name that was unifying. And, you know, most of world religion began in ancient Kemet. So that's where YaH and then Ra comes in. And me being like from Cali and being like a sunny girl, like I feel like it went, and I wanted a name that sounded like a superhero name. Kind of like how the old hip hop, you know, their names were so cool. Like Busta Rhymes, MC Light, like Grandmaster.
Right. Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Kaz, Grand Wizard Theodore, right? Like they had like big names.
Queen Latifah, like, you know, if there wasn't a Wiz Khalifa, I might have been Queen Khalifa.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, too close to Wiz, and I really like it. So, and then there was already a singer named Maya. You know, it was a combination of like these things I wanted to do, but also being realistic with a name in general, right? Like, I don't want to be like related to anything that's already out. Maya is so great, and then there's Maya Angelou.
Right.
It's like there's some great Mayas that are in my world already. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of how the name came about.
Yeah. I love how you connected the YaH with your with the original name, the old name, and then Ra. And I thought that that was the meaning, you know. But it's really cool to hear you, you know, explain it and talk about it. Dope name, dope name. Um, you know, I saw that you posted recently of an upcoming single that you have with none other than Inspector Deck of the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, I'm not sure it gets any bigger than the Wu-Tang Clan. Inspector Deck, on top of that, has everything he's done with Czarface, right? So he's got like a whole, you know, like if Wu wasn't big enough, he's got like this whole Czarface run going on right now with Esoteric. Can you talk to us about this new upcoming single?
So so the song is called True Blades. It was produced by DJ Fu, who did a lot of Schoolboy Q's Blue Lips. He had a helping hand in that. El Perez is someone who helped find me the beat I needed because I traded Inspector Deck for a verse. And so I'm like, I need that perfect beat. Like, it needs to sound Wu-Tang, but not like old. It still should be fresh. So some people submitted beats through Press to me, and I really like DJ Foos. So we had just a couple changes to make to it to like make it into a song and sequence and stuff. And yeah, Deck loved it. We he pretty much like picked the beat too. Like once I narrowed it down,
Yeah.
a couple, and then he sent me that back. So yeah, he was a pleasure to work with. I've met him in person like 4 times maybe.
Wow.
And I'm excited. I'm actually like wrapping that up tonight, like fully to where I can upload it. So I'm really excited.
Well, is there like is it going live, or is there gonna be like, you know, when's it coming out?
I want to do 7/27 or 7/24/24.
Is there like a reason why with those numbers?
Well, all my drop dates, the numbers are there's something special to them. For me, that would be, let me see, 24. Yeah, so 766. I feel like could be a good number, or like it's like certain patterns I have,
Yeah.
or that are special to me. So I might drop on my sister's birthday or something.
Yeah, it has a meaning to you.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick for the deck date yet.
Yeah.
That so I won't be able to answer what it means
Yeah.
yet. But those were some days I've been thinking about. I really wanted 7/7, but we can't go back.
Yeah. And when you say 766, you mean like 2020, the 24 for 7 is the third, like, so 7 July 24th of 2024, 766
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but
I'm
I
from
might.
numerology.
Yep. So I might pick like if you that's why all my metadata is important to me.
Yeah.
Like even if I upload something on Bandcamp
Yeah.
and it's not iTunes, when I'm ready to put it on iTunes, I make sure that date is what it was.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like some artists don't care. It'll just be whatever date that they put in.
Right. They're not thinking about that.
Yeah. So my like even my dates definitely have some sort of value to me, or like there's a reason why I pick a certain date. Whether it's like the numbers literally, or
Mm-hmm.
or it's a date that is important to me in a way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's dope. All the way artists.
thank you.
Artists.
I'm intentional with like everything because the total body of work to me matters. So
that's good. That's important. It's at the end of the day, it's a catalog.
yes, and I love finding gems from things I didn't notice later too when I'm listening to something again,
Yeah.
or noticing patterns in other artists' work. Or you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
those are
totally.
extra things
Like
that
Easter eggs. It's like Easter eggs in artists, like in their whole, like it's beyond the song, right? It's kind of like, oh shit, this was connected. Like Stan Lee's actually in his movies. Like the Roots albums actually continued. They continued the numbering from out for. You know how they did that? Like back in the day, the Roots had like the fourth album. The track listing starts at like song 47 because the songs never stop. Like they like really dope. And so I know what you're talking about. It's
that's
like their
intentional.
universe.
Yes, very intentional and made with you in mind or made with love in mind. So everything, almost every bit of something I'm putting out to the public, even if it didn't take me long to make it, I still have a process of what everything's gonna mean, and even the titles of the songs, the numbers, what they mean, how many songs are on each thing. 7 is always my project.
Yeah.
And the album is 10 or 15. So yeah, I have these different things. I don't know if it's OCD.
Nah, I mean, like, maybe to somebody else, maybe the definition of OCD. But I know what you're talking about, right? Like, it's like
Yep.
on some deep metaphysical metadata,
Yes.
super ultra, be yourself, like in every aspect of what
Yes.
you do. It's super fly.
Thank
I think it's a good kind of like segue into talking about something really interesting about you, which is a lot of you're like a complete artist where you write your songs, you perform them, but you also have recorded a lot of your own music. Can you talk to us about learning how to record, what you record on, how much of that you still do now that you've got you're more connected, right?
Yes. So I learned to record because of our previous conversation, like having to always go to LA all the time.
Yeah.
And also, like, having adversity in the studio, being a woman,
Yeah.
meaning volatile situations or not, let's just say a little bit of Diddy-like situations.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, but I also realized I could do it. I was not exposed to that. So then once I was and I naturally was interested in it, then I purchased like some things to get started. Cheap things like GarageBand, which is free, and a
Yeah.
USB. And I learned to record and like do basic levels. So then from there, I wanted to get a better setup, and I got a few books about it. And also by then I was getting invited to sessions. I kind of created a network, and friends who record and engineer. So I would learn from them, other studio sessions that really didn't have to do with me.
Yeah.
And at this point, I have a hand in every song, whether I record it myself and send it off. Even when I do that, I still pre-mix things, arrange things, and tell them what to do sometimes. Like, I try to let people do their job, but I might be like, this part needs,
Yeah.
like reverb from a hall, or like I'll explain what I want still.
Yeah.
So I have a couple engineers that really I trust with my voice because it's very like soft too.
Mm.
So it's easy to carve too much out. So now I still do those pre things, even if I don't mix and master it. I still pre-mix. I still mix it a little bit, basically.
Yeah.
And my songs that I have help with at this point are the songs that are bigger songs, like bigger artists,
Right.
songs that I'm gonna invest more into. So if it's something that Inspector Deck is on, I'm gonna get help because I always want to like not have my ego, you know. But then if it's like me just rapping a freestyle, I'm not gonna get help with that because I could just it's like 2 stems or 3 stems, like
Yeah.
it's not me. And yeah, so that's kind of the process that I go with. If someone made the beat and they're a great engineer, then they're involved with the mix and master too because it's their
Yeah.
beat. So I trust the fact that they're that picky anyway. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, yo, this sounds dope.
Yeah.
Excites my
So I
voice.
yeah, they, you know, they went to school or something. It's like they know what they're doing, and it's their. So I won't have as much leadership in that way, but I will still make my inputs and tell them to correct things if I hear something is not how I want it to be. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. The what program are you using nowadays?
I'm using Logic.
What's that?
Okay. Oh, it's opposite. It's Jeremiah. The singer. He's calling about real.
Dope.
But yes, I use Logic Pro.
Okay, yeah, Logic's dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good. You know, what's interesting is you've had a chance to work, you know, we talked about Inspector Deck and like with a who's who of artists, right? At this point, Jamal Gasol, Midas the Beast, Montage One, but there's one artist that stands out that, you know, you had kind of took you under his wing and at least, you know, a lot of people learned about you through him, and that's Planet Asia. Can you talk to us about how you connected with Planet Asia and how that all started?
Yes. So, Planet Asia and I followed each other on social media for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone's dying.
You gotta put that charger on there, the cord on.
I have a portable right here. Come on. Oh, boom. There we go. So, basically, we followed each other for a while. And shout out to everybody watching. We didn't even say that yet.
Shout out to everybody on here.
Yeah. Woo-woo. So I had asked him how much for a feature, and he responded and invited me to him and Musalini's video shoot in Orange County. I was living in North Hollywood at the time. And so my friend and I went, and it was a great vibe. That was my first time meeting him and Musalini.
Cool.
And then once we had a great energy in person, on the way out, I'm just like, I brought the song up again, and he's just like, no charge. So I'm like, what? Okay, boom. So I was like, I'll make sure to take care of the song, like, you know, get everything done for us for the song. Because I work fast, too. Like, I don't like to waste time, especially with bigger artists, you know.
Do you write fast?
Most of the time, yeah. If I'm just getting into the studio and they put a beat on, I can get a song done in about 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Per song, you know, assuming it's not like a lot of R&B singing. Like a rap song, yes.
You're like, bars, I got you.
Yeah. For rap, like me and DJ Fu, we did like, one time we labbed for 4 hours, like, and we did like 5 songs.
Wow.
But I was burnt out after that one. I definitely was out of whatever it takes to write.
Right. That creative energy was like on low.
Because it was just me. Like, if it's me and other people, then we're rotating. That's also not as intense because you get to take breaks, go fuck around, eat, like, all that. But if it's just me, I'm doing a song or 2 every hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. If you're paying for the session and you got a block of time, you're going to get it in.
Yes, that's what I'm doing tonight. So, like, I let things just add up, and then I'll go knock it out if I start feeling overwhelmed. And I'll be like, okay, I have 7 things to record. I need 4 hours.
Wow.
Assuming it's already written.
Yeah.
Because I think of my cadences as I write it. So I'm pretty prepared.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I don't wait to get, unless I do that on purpose. But I don't wait to the studio to have the song ready, how I want to deliver it, doing it a bunch of different ways. I decide that ahead of time. Yeah. And then, but sometimes if I leave time for that, then I'll do that. But if I know I'm trying to do 8 things in 4 hours, Like,
You come
I,
ready.
yeah, I have to, I'm not doing 10 different styles on the mic. I already worked that out. So when I go to do it, I'm doing it in one take because I've done it a bunch of times.
And what's interesting about you, right? And a lot of most rappers, and I'll say most male rappers, right? That most of the people that I interview are in the hip hop space, and it's predominantly male, and they don't sing, but you can
Mm-hmm.
sing, and you can sing really well,
Thank
right?
you.
So you got bars, and on top of that, you've got like some serious songs that are just dope songs, right? Where you're singing. Can you talk to us about the difference in doing that?
Sure. So singing takes more discipline. It has to sound on key.
Yeah.
It has to be, there's a math to singing. That's why people
Mm-hmm.
know that can't sing. They know when you're off key. It's not
Mm-hmm.
because they can sing or play an instrument. Their ears are mathematically on whatever frequency, right? As human beings, assuming you can hear, you're hearing, you're blessed to have your hearing, then they know when you're singing off key or when something is wrong if they don't know it's right. So singing, it takes more time, um, and it takes more thought because you need like harmonies, layers. Rapping is like, it's just basic. It's talking with style.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
it's
you. It's just you and your flavor. It's not like notes.
yeah, you can have a hoarse voice and still get a rap song in or be
Yeah.
sick if
Yeah.
you have to. Singing, I don't, unless you're Mariah
Yeah.
Carey, which that's the song of I Give My All. Allegedly she had like a fever, right? But she's freaking Mariah Carey. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think she had
yeah.
like at one point like the record for number one records of all time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, don't sleep
Right.
on like she had a tremendous career separate from like her current career, right? Like
Yeah.
there was a moment where Mariah reigned supreme.
Yeah, so Mariah can sing sick and sound great.
Yeah,
And if you play I Give My All, she does sound different. She doesn't sound sick necessarily, but it doesn't sound as bright of a tone but I say that to say singing just takes more effort, and like you have to do it right
yeah,
if you respect the craft. Whereas rap is faster if you know what you're doing
yeah.
and if you're prepared.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You're at the point where you got like track coming out with Inspector Deck, new video dropping with Paul Wall. Are you still working with artists? Like if artists reach out to you and they want to purchase a feature from you or they want to purchase a hook, now that we were talking about singing, are you still open to that? And if so, how do people go about contacting you?
I definitely do feature specials. I try to do them every other month. I did one for 4th of July for $400 feature, meaning like a 16 or a chorus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely still do them, and I always have specials in order to keep that line open and just keep expanding the catalog because features are important to my growth too.
Yeah.
So I do find value in them. Um, 90% of them I approve and I do.
Yeah.
So I haven't really had anybody send me something mad crazy that I was like, nah.
Nah, you're like, nah,
Yeah.
so you can keep the money.
Yeah, most people
Your money's no good here.
yeah, like this is too weird. So yeah, so if you wanted a feature booking, when I say feature, it could mean a 16, a chorus, a skit, some DJ drops, anything of that nature. You can press contact and email or text the contact, and we can see if there's a fit. I start at 400 when there's specials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. And that's dope that you do that. That's really cool.
Thank you.
In 2021, 22, and 23, right? You've had steady projects. You just dropped The Love Wins, but I know this from my research. You've got a dope 2024 plan. Can you talk to us about some of the upcoming projects that you're working on?
Yes. So there's so much going on right now as far as like wrapping projects up. Most of these are 80% or more done. So I have Unis Mundus EP, which is 10 songs. 3 of them are already out. So 7 new songs, including the Inspector Deck song, which is the only feature. Wavy and I are working on Queen's Gambit 2, which is going really good. I'm trying to secure like a big feature for that one. And it's more end of the year weather type music. So I feel like that will come out as
he's such a dope producer.
Yes, he's incredible. And man, that's my brother. Like when I'm in New York, he always makes sure I'm good and stuff. So shout out to Wavy the God. He has a great catalog too, and you know, I enjoy working with him, and I wanted to go to New York for Queen's Gambit too. So when I've been out there, that's what we're working on. So I got Unis Mundus EP, I got Queen's Gambit 2, I got an EP, a G-Funk EP with Day One and Battle Cat. That I'm trying to get out before summer ends. Like
that's a summer, right? That's like a summer project.
Yep, and even end of summer, I can get it in right around there, right?
Summer's long in Cali.
Yeah, that is. Yep. And then we have that kind of like riding, cruising part of summer. I feel like this part of summer is the turn up part. This is the kids just got out, like everybody's throwing day parties, pool parties, July 4th parties. So like the end of summer to me is a very nice time because it almost is getting more crisp and it's top down weather, and it's almost back to business. So I'm hoping to drop that around like September, and I'm wrapping up those features. Most of the shit that's pending is because of features. I work fast.
Yeah,
I work fast, or I'm waiting on something from someone because again, like not leading with your ego. You know when you need help or when you want to have someone add to the beat or something, right? So, Unis Mundus. I don't want to say the title of the Battle Cat album yet, but I do have one.
Good. It's a working title, right?
Yeah, I'm not ready to share it yet.
Nah, man, because you don't want somebody to, until it's ready, you don't want somebody to be like, oh, that's a dope. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes. So for that one, I'm not ready, and it's like the title is actually very important with the cover art even. So I'll wait on that. But you guys can know about Unis Mundus. If someone steals that, they're just weird. Yeah. Unis Mundus EP, the Battle Cat G-Funk Day One album, Queen's Gambit 2, and then there's might be one more. If I can squeeze that EP in, I really think it's possible.
That's dope, man. You have a tremendous year. I would even say, you know, not even limited to like 2024. I'd say like the next 12 months for you are like, you know, all the work that you've been doing from hopping on the train in the Inland Empire, coming out to Union Station, and like those early parts of your career where you were like making the connects all the way to now where you've got this wave of material with some of the biggest names in hip hop. People like the Musalini, the video dropping with Paul Wall, right? Like Inspector Deck, Jeremiah calling you while you're on the interview. I mean, like truly, when you were hopping on the train and coming out here, and you're like, I want to take my career from the IE to a national and global level, and like you're seeing the fruits of that labor, you know.
Well, I feel very grateful that you would say something like that because sometimes when you're working, you're just like, it's not like you're looking at all the negatives, but you're trying to problem solve so much because you're independent. So I have a team when I need it, basically. But I don't have access to a team every day. So like, I'm always thinking about the next level, or like like I said, more problem solving, right? So it's not like I'm negative, but I have to problem solve every day, different things. So that being said, I'm very grateful that you gave me those flowers because I'm like, I feel like I'm in a whirlwind sometimes, And when you look at it like that, like came a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like very long way, and I still got such a long way to go. I don't know. I'm not someone who's set on like needing a deal. It's like I would like a deal
Yeah.
because then I could just be the be the musician, and I wonder how good I could be if I was only doing that.
Yeah.
But my career has prepared me to do how I need to, however it comes. Like I have different cards on the table. So I've gotten this far pretty much, you know, with Team Me. Um, and yeah, I'm grateful that you would say something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. As we start to wrap, you know, I would say to that point, I personally think that you have everything necessary to go to the highest levels, right?
Thank you.
You could sing, you could rhyme, you could songwrite, you could perform, right? You're nice on the eyes, you have an outgoing personality, and you grind. So keep going. You know what I'm saying?
I received that today. I received all this good
Yeah.
word and kindness and genuine observation. I'm definitely going to. I'm too deep in. Like I was thinking about
Yeah,
that
you went all
today.
in. You went all in. There's nothing
I'm
else.
like,
This is
it's
it.
it's like if you cross, like let's say this screen is where we're trying to go, right? Like this is where I started. This is where it could go,
Yeah.
and this is all like a dry desert. I feel like I'm about like right there,
Yeah.
and it's like, yo, if you go back, that's farther than just.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're tired. Like I know, da 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 da. But it wouldn't even be good business to turn around,
That's right.
like based off your investment. Like, so I try to remove even when I'm emotional, I try to remove emotions. Like, and even if I do that, when I keep my emotions, I know this is what I'm made to do. And when I look at it from a business sense, I'm too far past the Sahara Desert
Yeah.
to
turn
drop some
back.
water.
Yeah, you're closer to the water this way. It might still be far, but you're still closer, right?
I'm literally removing emotion and looking at your 10,000 hours, your business, da, 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 like, yes, like, get out your emotions, because if you go this way, that's gonna be farther. It doesn't feel like it, but I love how we like created a track on the screen for us.
But I completely understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I think you're right, and you're dope, man.
Thank
Come
you.
on, right? So I see the comments, you know, and everybody's like, keep going, and you know, we're listening to you in Florida, and I know they're listening to you everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think you're gonna have a dope next 12 months. I can't wait to hear the Inspector that joint. I can't wait to see the video with Paul Wall when the time is right. And you know, Queen's Gambit 2, the new
Oh,
EP that's
that's what
coming,
I'm
the
excited
G
for.
Funk, right? All the albums that you talked about.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be killing it.
Man, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm sure that we'll hop back on the ringer too. Once
Yeah.
something drops, I'm more than like down to come back. Hopefully I'm in another state or something cool like behind me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
thoughts and stuff like this. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
So
hopefully,
that works.
yeah, hopefully we can do another one of these. And thank you for just being well tapped in, and like I really enjoyed the questions too. They were not like the regular ones I get. You had me on my toes. So
Yeah, it's an
thank you.
honor to have you on the show. I think that you're a special talent, and I'm cheering for
Thank
you.
you.
Peace, sis. Keep going.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Peace.